Hey there, Kipsters. Mr. Piazza here, and we're looking at Objective 3C.3, which is about comparing rates. Another big part of this unit on measurement and geometry, because rates are usually comparing distances. We're going to actually complete this lesson by looking at CST released items involving these skills. So starting with number 62, the chart below describes the speed of 4 desktop printers. You have RoboPrint, prints 2 pages per second. Voltron prints 1 page every 2 seconds. Vantech Plus, 160 pages in 2 minutes. And DLS Pro, 100 pages per minute. And you need to figure out which is the fastest. The problem with that is it's hard to compare them because the first one says how many pages in 1 second. The second one is how many pages in every 2 seconds. The third one is how many pages in every 2 minutes. And the last one is how many pages in 1 minute. It's hard to compare them right now. So the goal is to rewrite all of these so that they have the same amount of time so that we can see how many pages they print in the same amount of time. So I'm going to rewrite all of these rates. So the first thing I'm going to do is write them as ratios. I see 2 pages per 1 second. That's RoboPrint. Second, 1 page per 2 seconds. That's Voltron. Next, 160 pages per 2 minutes. That's Vantech. And last, 100 pages per 1 minute. So I've written all 4 as ratios, and I need to rewrite them with the same amount of time. So I'm going to rewrite all of these ratios so that I can compare with the same amount of time. I need to make a decision. I see 1 second, 2 seconds, 2 minutes, and 1 minute as my denominators. Looking at these, I think I could rewrite all of these ratios out of 1 minute. So I'm going to rewrite all of these ratios out of either 1 minute or 60 seconds, since that's the same thing as 1 minute. I'm trying to convert everything to either 1 minute or 60 seconds. So, RoboPrint. If it's 2 pages in 1 second, if I multiply by 60, that's going to be 120 pages in 60 seconds, or 120 pages per minute. That's pretty fast. Next, Voltron. 1 page in 2 seconds. If I multiply by 30, that'll get 60 seconds. So I need to multiply by 30 in my numerator. And this printer looks slower. It prints 30 pages in 60 seconds. Next, Vantech. 160 pages per 2 minutes. If I want this to be out of 1 minute, I actually need to divide by 2. And divide by 2. 160 divided by 2. This printer is a little faster than the last one at 80 pages per minute. And then last one, 100 pages per minute. Well, that's already using the amount of time that I want. So that's 100 pages in 1 minute. Now that they are all out of either seconds, 60 seconds, or 1 minute, it's pretty easy to tell that the fastest printer is this one at the top at 120 pages per minute. RoboPrint is the fastest. You can also compare them to see which one is the slowest. If I was asking for the slowest one, hopefully you can see pretty clearly that the slowest is Voltron at only 30 pages per 60 seconds. So again, the goal is to rewrite all of these with the same denominator so that you can compare them all with the same amount of time. I use minutes or 60 seconds because some of them were already in seconds, so I just converted them to 60. Some of them were already in minutes, so I just converted them to 1 minute. For better practice, I'd like you to complete this problem. KO construction. You decide to construct a new building on KO's campus. The building would be a 2-story building to make room for more students next year. Your job is to figure out which company to hire based on their rates. So you have 4 rates. Charges $100 per hour, charges $10 for 10 minutes, charges $2 per minute, or charges $400 for 5 hours. So in terms of little help for guidance, you want to rewrite all of these ratios and then decide how are you going to rewrite them with the same denominator. Stop the video here, press play when you're able to tell me which company you should hire. That means which one is the cheapest. Again, stop the video here, press play when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, you've tried it, so now it's time to check. Looking at one company at a time, Company A charges $100 per 1 hour. Company B charges $10 per 10 minutes. Company C charges $2 per 1 minute. And Company D is $400 per 5 hours. I see hours and minutes here, so the goal that you should have had is I want to convert them all to either 60 minutes or 1 hour. If you can get them all to either 60 minutes or 1 hour, then you can compare them. First one, $100 per hour, that's already in 1 hour, so that's going to be $100 per hour. That's how much that first company is going to be. Second, $10 per 10 minutes, you need to multiply by 6, because 10 times 6 would be 60 minutes. And you multiply by 6, that means this company costs $60 per 60 minutes, or $60 per hour. Next company, $2 per 1 minute, you need to multiply by 60. And this is really going to be $120 per 60 minutes, or $120 per hour. And then last one, $400 per 5 hours. To get this to be out of 1 hour, which is the goal, you need to divide by 5 and divide by 5. And this would actually be $80 per hour. So after you've converted them all, you should be able to see which company to hire. The company to hire, which means the cheapest, would have been Company B, which charges only $60 an hour. Okay, at this point, I think you've had a chance for guided practice. It's now time to try this independently. What I'd like you to do is to compare these motorcycles to the one racing. So motorcycle X drives 60 miles per hour and is racing for the motorcycles. Compare their speeds to answer each question. You have motorcycle A, 1 mile per minute, motorcycle B, 10 miles per 5 minutes, motorcycle C, 120 miles per 2 hours, and motorcycle D, 10 miles per 60 minutes. You have 5 questions to answer. Which is the fastest? How much faster does it go compared to X? Which is the slowest? How much slower does it go compared to X? And which motorcycles are going the same speed as motorcycle X? If you get a 4 out of 5 on these 5 questions, you'll be ready to retake Objective Assessment 3C.3. Good luck.